This program is supported by Kayam Churna. अब टैबलेट और ग्रेन्यूल्स में भी उपलब्ध।
Hello and welcome to Prudent Media. My name is Sachin Chatte and on this show we take a look at the latest releases. Today we will take a look at Jolly LLB 3 and Anurag Kashyap's Nishaanchi. First, let's take a look at Jolly LLB 3. Jolly LLB 2013 में आई और उसकी सफलता के कारण 2017 में इसका एक सीक्वल आया, लेकिन अभी 8 साल बाद Jolly LLB 3 आया है. Jolly LLB 3 has good intentions but ultimately comes across as both preachy and predictable. This might have been acceptable if the film had been concise and focused. However, it stretches the narrative for well over 2 hours, incorporating various elements that feel disjointed. कुछ फिल्मों में कहानी एकदम ठोस होती है, but the storytelling is very ordinary, and Jolly LLB is one of them. This is the story of two rival lawyers who unite for a noble cause, and that has potential on paper, but the execution is overly direct. The characters from the previous film return, जगदीश्वर जॉली मिश्रा जिसका रोल अक्षय कुमार ने प्ले किया है और उनके नेमसेक जो है जगदीश जॉली त्यागी जो अरशद वारसी ने प्ले किया है. ये दोनों लॉयर हैं लेकिन हमेशा झगड़ते रहते हैं. Given that they share the same name and practice in the same court, they even often try to poach each other's clients. ये कहानी एक रियल लाइफ स्टोरी से इंस्पायर हुई जो भट्टा परसोल में 2011 में हुई थी, जहाँ कुछ जो फार्मर्स थे उनकी लैंड एक इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट ने हड़प ली थी. Gajraj Rao plays Haribhai Khaitan, a wealthy businessman who has the institutions as well as officials in his pocket. His henchmen grab the land of farmers in an illegal way, and of course because of that the farmers are against him. Janki Solanki, played by Seema Biswas, leads the protest motivated by her husband's suicide. This plot provides a solid foundation for a confrontation. अब ये तो दो जॉली है, they are engaged in a battle of wits. Huma Qureshi plays Jagdishwar's wife and Amrita Rao plays the other Jolly's wife. At one point, Jagdishwar Jolly realizes that he's been deceived by Khaitan, prompting the two Jollies to collaborate against the industrialist. अब इसमें एकदम जबरदस्त एक ड्रामेटिक सीन होता है. बीकानेर में कार रेस चल रही है एक रेस ट्रैक पे और सडनली ये दोनों जॉलीज ऊंट पे आ जाते हैं. वो कार रेस पे दौड़ रही है और दूसरी तरफ से ये दोनों ऊंट पे आ जाते हैं और कार वहीं ब्रेक लगा के रुक जाती है और वो इतने डर जाते हैं कि कार रिवर्स में चलने लगती है. Saurabh Shukla returns to his role as Judge Sundarlal Tripathi, an eccentric yet honest and dedicated judge. He stands out as the quirkiest character, delivering lines like "जांघिया बदलने से दस्त नहीं रुकती," which means changing your underpants will not stop the diarrhea. The latter part of the film unfolds in a courtroom where the lawyers from both sides confront each other. While some statements made are valid and relevant, this sequence tends to be verbose with lengthy dialogues. This performance by Akshay Kumar is among his better ones in recent times, but that is not saying a lot. Gajraj Rao and Saurabh Shukla consistently excel, while Arshad Varsi has a comparatively minor role. Seema Biswas portraying the victim effectively conveys her emotions through her eyes. Jolly LLB 3 then is a mixed bag with not a lot to offer. I'm going to go with 2 out of 5 stars for Jolly LLB 3. And now let's take a look at Anurag Kashyap's Nishaanchi. Any Anurag Kashyap film invariably generates a certain level of interest. However, since the release of Bombay Velvet, which was in 2015, he has been somewhat disappointing. Naturally, expectations are often elevated due to his name being linked with the project, and yet this can also lead to over-analysis of the film for the same reason. Nishaanchi is a film by Anurag Kashyap in which he seeks to reconnect with his inner self as a filmmaker. He aims to return to his gangster filmmaking roots, resulting in a noticeable influence from his very own Gangs of Wasseypur, which was back in 2012. This film appears more as a homage to Wasseypur than as a self-contained narrative. Much like Wasseypur, which has attained cult status, this one is also divided into 2 parts. 3 घंटे के बाद फिल्म खत्म होती है और आता है end of part 1. Unfortunately, it neither finishes on a high note nor leaves the audience eager for more. It feels somewhat lackluster as one anticipates a more exhilarating experience. I went to watch the film first day first show और थिएटर में कोई नहीं था, मैं अकेला ही था. करीब 20 मिनट बाद 3 और लड़के आए, यानी कि 4 टोटल लोग थे हम थिएटर में. Kashyap is recognized for his boundary-pushing approach, and aside the Bombay Velvet debacle, he typically works with lesser-known actors, drawing remarkable performances from them. This film is set in Kanpur in 2006. It features Aishwarya Thakre portraying Dablu and Bablu, who are eventually revealed to be twins. Bablu's girlfriend is Rinku, played by Vedika Pinto, who becomes involved with the brothers in a bank heist that goes awry. Bablu, being the mastermind, should have realized that his brother was ill-suited for such a task. He struggles to even read the threat from a piece of paper correctly. As Bablu ends up in prison, Dablu must take care of Rinku, and the narrative carries a Godard-this crime thriller essence, reminding you of Band of Outsiders and Breathless. The mother, played by Monica Panwar, of the twins has endured a challenging life and is currently facing threats from the local gangster, played by Kumud Mishra. A flashback reveals their history. The first half of the film runs for almost 100 minutes और बहुत धीरे धीरे चलती है वो. It seems that Kashyap could have benefited from adopting techniques similar to those of Godard, like using jump cuts to keep the scenes concise and effectively convey their messages without being unnecessarily lengthy. Instead, we are presented with extended scenes that linger longer than necessary. We discover that Rinku is a dancer who performs for lusty men on stage, although we do not witness a performance or reference to it later on. The gangster is also pursuing her ancestral property, which connects the families to the twins and Rinku to him. Furthermore, Bablu is implicated in a father's murder despite belief in his innocence. These various plot threads take time to unfold, resulting in a lack of narrative economy. The second half features a flashback starting from the birth of the twins. Now, their father, whose name is Zabardast, played by Vineet Kumar Singh, was a wrestler who didn't receive the recognition he deserved. His quest for justice lands him in significant trouble. The intricate plot elements do not coalesce as intended. The dialogues are predominantly delivered with tongue-in-cheek, referencing to Rajnikant, who is mentioned as the actor from Giraftar, and the kiss scene from Raja Hindustani. Bablu also calls himself Tony Montana after watching the gangster film Scarface. While these references add some value, the film struggles to transition smoothly within various elements. A notable distinction between Vasepur and this film lies in the character development. Each character in Vasepur, whether it was Tigmanshu Dhulia as Ramadhir Singh, was memorable. In contrast, neither Bablu, Dablu nor the antagonist leaves a lasting impression here. The two female characters, Rinku and the mother, exhibit their own brand of resilience. One can rely on Anurag Kashyap to accurately depict the setting and dialogue, which is a positive aspect of the film. There are several songs in the movie, including one in English and another one that incorporates film titles. However, there is an excessive number of songs overall. Aarti Bajaj's editing otherwise is always very precise, but in this instance, the scenes seem to drag on indefinitely. The cast is exceptional. Aishwarya Thackeray delivers a commendable performance in a dual role, while Vedika Pinto portraying the love interest is quite impressive. Monica Panwar may not convincingly resemble the mother of adult men, yet her performance is absolutely spot on. Jab film khatam hue, as the credits began to roll, I turned to see the observation of the young men who had arrived late. However, it looked like they disappeared midway through the film. That's what they thought of it, and I think this film deserves 2 out of 5 stars. Well, that's what I thought of the two films this week. Let us know what you think, and I'll be back with you next week with more movie reviews. Till then, it's goodbye from me.